Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prayerfully, everyone transfers over. Um, Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perhaps I should have put the fair use disclaimer in the description box. I don't know. We actually made it pretty much almost to the end of that particular documentary. Um, yeah. So I'll have to find out how to appropriately use it because I know that I can use it for the purposes of teaching. Um, but I just have to figure out how. YouTube did not send me an email yet, though. So that's the only thing that concerns me because if it was a copyright, um, wouldn't they send me not a copyright, a strike? Wouldn't they send me something to let me know? Unless it's being reviewed, which still sucks because you interrupted my live, YouTube. Yeah, I'll check later to see. Thank you guys for transitioning over. Um, I didn't get everybody, but hopefully most did. Um, TR, I want to make sure that as a matter of fact, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Um, Rainbow, honey, the link is in the chat, and TR, the link is in the chat. Um, I'm gonna figure out how to do this live without getting strikes. I think we got pretty far tonight with a great deal of information. I also think that the more we dig into this, the more people are going to see that the entanglement isn't even the part that needs the most attention. Healing is what needs the most attention. Um, and that's healing for both of them. Um, but I'm not going to talk on Jada. I'm just going to talk on August because that's who, like I said, I watched that and that's who resonated with me. I can't stress to you enough that I know that feeling of being braced for impact. I've shared before that I was abused by my mother. It's no pretty way to say it. There's no way to dress it up. She was honest in her last year of life and said she only did to me what was done to her, and she was trying to raise me right. She said the same thing. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I actually put the link in the chat. If you and TR will both hit it, that would be great. And so I know. Oh, I thought you were baby girl. Forgive me. Forgive me. So I know what that's like. I'm gonna give you a description, just a slight description. So going to the grocery store. Going to the grocery store with my mom was a super duper traumatic event. It was. There's no way to say it. It was horrible. I hated it. I didn't want to go because my mama had a habit of if you walk too far ahead of her, she would hit you with the basket on the back of your heel. If you um walk too far behind her, she's going to hit you. If you walk on the side of her and she goes right and you go left because you've studied her feet, you've studied her process and her pattern because you don't want to be hit anymore. But you are for some reason off that day, you're going to get hit. One day, I took my little niece to the store with me, and we were in the store. And I was going to get her some clothes so we could go to church. And she'd been with my mom since she was 18 months, with my mom and her husband since she was 18 months. But in all fairness, my mom did most of the raising per se because she was the woman. Well, I took her to the store and she was so nervous. And when I went to turn my basket, it was just like it triggered up every emotion that I'd ever felt in the bottom of my stomach as a child. It triggered every emotion of anger, hurt, frustration, wanting to get her back for making me feel that way. And now you're making somebody else feel that way. But I had to pray. Because at the end of the day, that's my mother. And when I see Jesus, I can't say, but Lord, she had done. No, because my relationship with him isn't based on mama and them or grandmama and them. It's based off of me and what I know. And so I know that I'm supposed to honor my mother and my father. I know that going in and cussing my mom out doesn't justify or doesn't anything. So when we got from the store, I had a conversation with my mom. And I told her, I said, Mom, I took my niece to the store and feelings came up from my childhood that I didn't like. I said, she's trying to guess my mind and which way I'm going to go. And she's just, you can see all the anxiety and the nervousness because we went to get her some Borax. That's what it was. So I could do her hair. And this was like years before my mom passed. And I told my mom, I said, I'm only talking to you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes that you said that you made with me. I said, and she loves you. She really loves you. And I will hope that me coming to you and talking to you and letting you know how I could feel, but because of the God in me, I don't feel that would help you to be better. That didn't come across well. My mama told me I was being extra, over exaggerating. And I had to just like, Mom, when is it okay to smack somebody in the back of the heel with a basket? Well, you shouldn't be too in front. She shouldn't be too that far in front of me. But when is it just okay to reach back and knock somebody out? You shouldn't be that far behind me. Okay, but when is it that it's okay to hit somebody if they go the opposite direction? You should have been paying attention to where I'm going. And it was like, Mom, that's not how this works. That's not how it goes. And so I told her, I said, she's going to grow up resenting you if you keep doing this. And that's not what you want. And I also told her that I was going to talk to my stepfather because I will not let this child go through what I went through with you. And boy, was she upset with me. You're trying to destroy my marriage. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not. But either you need to get some parenting classes, you need to be willing to listen, or just not going to work. This is a child that you guys are already have custody of, that's away from her mother. So that's already a lot on her. I can't let you do that to her. Being braced for impact. So not knowing what to do, not knowing how to respond. One night, had to use the bathroom. I kind of want to wait on this story, but I don't know that I'll get to tell or get to share all of August's documentary. One night, we're in a dark alley because my mom and dad had been fighting, and they fought often. August talks about his mom, and he calls his stepdad, his steppops, fighting, and he bit his brother's ear off, and threw a brick in the car that hit him in the head. Well, one night, my dad's apartment was on the back side of the apartments, and so there was these corner stores that you could park down an alley and you could see directly at his apartment. I could see, just like Mama could see, he was in there, and there was another woman in there, and she was upset, and I knew she was upset, so I knew not to say nothing. I knew not to move. I had begged to stay at grandma's. She wouldn't let me stay because I knew that when we left that house, I prayed to come back home. That's just how bad it was. We're sitting in the alley, and I had to pee before we left the house. Mind you, that was about 8:30. It's about 12:30, 1 in the morning now. I can't hold it anymore. I want to, but I can't. So at this point, it's either take a beating for saying I gotta go to the bathroom, which is gonna imposition her and piss her off, and we've already been sitting here a good 4 or 5 hours, or I pee in this car, and that's still gonna piss her off, and I'm still gonna get a beating, and probably gonna get another beating when she get done cleaning it up, or get beat while I'm being told to clean up. So, Mr. Fulton, I'm not bringing anybody up right now. So I finally said, Mama, I gotta use the bathroom. My mother bit me on my shoulder, hit me, pushed me out the car in a dark alley, and said, I hope something get your ass. I wasn't even in double digits yet. I got out the car, I peed in the alley, I prayed, and I got back in the car, and it was never spoke of again. No apology, nothing. And it was all because you was frustrated with my dad, but you took it out on me. And that frustration, truthfully, was greater than I ever realized at that age. It got worse later. Hold on one moment. Hey, Derek.
Yeah, shout out of respect due to Aisha Memphis. Damn, kind of sound like the story I had with my daddy. Sort of
What's
like,
up?
I ain't get pushed out the car, but I got beat to death though.
Mm-hmm.
For standing up for my mama, cause he would, for the better part of the 1970s, my mama was a domestic violence victim at the hands of
Mm-hmm.
my dad, and so I got the nerve, and I wasn't in double digits, and I got the nerve to the foolish nerve to go up and say, you know, stop, and I'm trying to get him up off my mom.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Derek to a pulp. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Be
Mm-hmm.
like that. Be
You
like that.
wouldn't,
I still love my dad. Is still living. I love my dad, but he did do that to me. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
never was talked about. Just like what you said. I mean, it must be a South thing. It never was talked about. No apology, no nothing. And I would take a bullet for my dad. And my dad is 80 years old, but he did do that. Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
did. So, you know, I feel you, you know, but I think my personal thing is, Aisha, if you're able to go through any of these dysfunctional situations, you're able to come out on the other side a better person. It's still messed up, but if you can come out on the other side a better person, it was kind of worth.
What
And it
what
looked
what
like to me, it looked like
what
to me you got your head on straight.
what qualifies a better person though?
A better person is just the way you talking now. You wouldn't do that to your child, would you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, the cycle is broken. So you are, so by definition, you are a better person. Would you
Okay.
apologize if you were wrong for something you said to your child?
Absolutely. I just whooped my 24-year-old, and I didn't even mean to. It was with my hand, but I smacked her little butt in her arm because she went and got a tattoo, and I didn't mean to. I told her, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. But she lied to me about the tattoo, and she didn't have to lie. Well, not
Well,
technically. She
well,
said she wouldn't go get one, and then she got one. And I was just like, you told me a story. She's like, Mama, you whooping me. And then I had to say, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It just
well, you know what? I personally am for corporal punishment as a last resort. But see, that's the Mississippi. I mean, now you got two people from the South talking about a whooping. That ain't nothing. But to northern ears, eastern ears, people out on the West Coast, that might be like, well, why are you beating your child? That's just our way, and it ain't gonna never go nowhere. It's the duration. It's really the duration and the severity of the whooping. But sometimes a whooping is warranted. I ain't whooped Damaris in about a year and a half. But if I have to put my hands on her, I wouldn't think twice. But I love my daughter with the best of them. But
yes.
in these days and times, you ain't even supposed to say that out loud. But people spank their children. But you
Yeah.
said that.
But there's a difference
But
between spanking and beating.
yes, and see the child and the person lied to you. And so for
Mhm.
us, where we come from, nobody in your house supposed to lie to you. If they under your care and they children or whatever it is, yeah, you on your, as my daddy used to tell us, on your ass I go.
They wish she
So
didn't have to lie. Which she later said, "Mama, I didn't lie. At that time, I didn't
I'm
have one.
saying,
I just changed my mind." And I was like, "But I
right.
did apologize."
Well, it don't
I
matter.
did.
No, but the fact is that you were deceived. But just the same, you apologize. But your mama, if she whoop you, let's go back 25 years. Would she have said, I'm sorry to you?
I didn't call her midfist. No, sorry. She apologized the year before during the year she was ill and about to die. But
Well,
there was never any specifics.
well, you know, respect due to your mama. But I'm saying if we go back 25, 30 years, in my case, 40 years, they ain't going to apologize. And I'm all right with that. But I apologize to Damaris. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's the reason why I say if you go through any of this dysfunctional stuff and you come out a better person, it's sad you went through it, but it's actually made you a better person, as messed up as that is. So that's the reason why I say that's what qualifies you as a better person. That don't mean you're better than your mama, but with regards to how you raise children and your approach to parenting, you are better than your mama. That's all. So I just want to come on here because I'm about to head out somewhere. But I just want to stop in and say that you're looking stunning. Shout out to Dre CEO. But
Thank
she look
you.
good, boy. So yeah. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah. So that's all. So I just want to come in and show support. I shared you out,
Thank you.
and so you know you take care of yourself. Derek with you for the long haul here.
Appreciate you. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Yes, ma'am. Salute.
Mr. Fulton, if you want to come back up, you can. Hey, Chris. Hello. It's a little muffled. Yes, I can now.
Okay.
You're breaking up again. Chris Thorne. I can't hear you. Yes. No, he went away. Let me read some. Okay, Chris.
Signal boost. So can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm saying 901 in the house. What's going on?
I'm just here. I'm talking about the hard topics.
Is that a green screen effect I see in the background?
That is. I've had it since.
All right.
I don't know, since I really got started good, but I just didn't have a need to put it up yet, if that makes sense. But for this topic,
I see.
I just wanted to do something different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Get to the story of your mom with something that didn't talk about. I think you heard me say numerous times. Your mom was because she was angry with your dad.
You broke up. But I do see your comment where you says, didn't I always say that when the mom does that, it's because they're angry with the father?
Yeah, that's what I was up here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you real good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm about to drop back in because I'm in a bad spot right now. But yeah, that's what I was saying right there. You know, you said your mom did that. You heard me say that when the mom did because
You went out again, Chris. You're here. Just can't hear you, but you're here. Chris. Mr. Bolton, are you still in? Thank you, Rainbow. I do have you set up with a reminder. Chris? Okay. Chris says, didn't I always say that when the mom does that, it's because they're angry with the father? I think that goes so much deeper than what many of us see. I think there's some validity to it, but not entirely. My son looks just like my ex-husband, just like his dad. He walked like him, talk like him, look just like him. And I wish no ill will towards his father whatsoever. But I made a vow from the moment that I had him that I would never hold my children responsible for anything that their father ever did. And I've never done it. And when I say he's a spitting image of his dad, yeah, a spitting image. And I can't hate his father. No matter what type of marriage we had, no matter what type of disagreements we may have had, I can't hate his father because it's his father. It's my daughter's father. So I'm not going to hate their father because then that means I hate a part of them and I don't. I love all pieces of them. I don't even regret having them with their father because if I would have had them with someone else, they wouldn't be my children. Are you saying my sound isn't clear, Dre? They are coming for me. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boy. It's okay, Chris. It's okay. You're always welcome. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I didn't even see the current video. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So I have to find out what happened with the video. We're kind of gonna slash it right there. The story that, or that part of my life that I shared just now, I guess I needed that break. When I told Mr. Fulton I wasn't taking any calls, please know that it was not intentional, or it was like I needed to make sure that I got it completely out, um, so that I wouldn't clam up and not say it again. Um, but being braced for impact. There was one day that we were at my grandmother's house, sitting down, and my mom told me to come here, look at this. And I probably was in the double digits by then. And so I came to look, and she was like, come closer, come closer. And she had her hand, and she smacked me dead in my nose. And there was nothing that I had done. And she laughed. And I just remember saying, that's not funny. This hurts. Why would you do that? And she was just so tickled. And my mind just couldn't ever wrap around why she did some of the things that she did. But I don't agree that most moms take things out on their children because of the dad. I just believe because many of my whoopings had nothing, or beatings had nothing to do with my dad. It's just that particular night. I'm not going to say it had anything to do with my dad. It has something to do with her anger, and her not being able to control her anger. And still, to the day she left here, or she does not want to be able to control her anger. And so there were plenty of things that triggered her to be angry. And I was the one that got the blunt of those consequences for her being angry. Much respect to Derek, but no, there's not a but. Much respect to Derek. The purpose of this live, though, is so that we can end that lie that we're better for it. I'm not better because I was beaten. I'm not better because I now have literally to the point of, brace yourself. I'll give you this story. At my dad's house, spending the night, had made a decision that I didn't want to go spend the night again. And so I have to tell you this first story to tell you the second story. So the first story, spent the night just fine. We went to Kroger, and at that time, Kroger had live lobster in the tanks. And I looked at them, but I don't know why. That night I had a dream about them, and they were just coming at me, and I just started screaming and screaming. So the next morning, we get up, And my mom goes to work, and my dad is supposed to take me to school. My mom leaves, and she tells, uh, gets to work. Immediately after she leaves, there's this hard bang on the door. I'm in the back, and a lady enters the house. So I'm looking, I'm not asking any questions because you don't ask questions. Um, the phone rings. It's my mom. My dad answered. And then I guess my mom said, let me talk to Isha. So I get the phone, and my mom says, what's going on? And I said, well, somebody's here. And she was like, what do you mean, somebody's here? And I was like, well, I don't know. It's a lady here. And she basically said, put your dad back on the phone. So I gave my dad the phone. Well, when my dad got the phone, this lady snatches the phone off the wall and chunks it. And so I'm sitting there like not knowing what to do, not in double digits yet, still in elementary school. My dad goes, pick up the phone all calmly, and he's about to put it back on the wall. And I'm standing right there watching all of this, and she trips him up and hits him over the back with a hammer. This caused my dad to fight back. Now, mind you, I'm already traumatized because my parents fight each other. And now I'm watching him fight someone else. And this time for his life. So I'm standing there watching it. I'm scared. I'm afraid. Didn't go to a corner to hide. I don't know why. I'll never forget she had on a yellow raincoat with pockets. And she was reaching in her pocket, and all I saw was a wooden handle. And I started screaming, Daddy, Daddy, she has a gun, she has a gun, she has a gun. And he's fighting for his life. He gets the weapon. He is still detaining, fighting, and restraining her with one hand. And he yells at me, Aisha, get this. Well, it wasn't a gun, it was a hook knife. Had never seen one before in my life. I got it, I grabbed it, I ran, and I just threw it in the closet. That's all I knew to do. And then I ran back out the room. And when I ran back out the room, that's when I saw she was running out of the house. By the time Apple let me know my heart rate is too high. That's called brace for impact. When she was running out the house, my mom was running in the house. And I remember going to the balcony because we heard this loud boom. And she had gotten out of her car and bust all of the lights out of the front of my dad's car. So the police were called. And I don't know if my dad called them or the neighbors called them because it was really bad. A report was filed. My mom went to work. And before leaving, she said, are you going to take her to school? And my dad said, yes, I'll drop her off. So I'm in the car, nervous, scared, afraid, had just witnessed someone try to take my dad's life, headed to school. I'd have been instructed, what happens in this house stays in this house. Don't you say anything to anybody about what you saw this morning. Again, I'm in elementary school. I get to school. I try my best to do my work. I try my best. And I break down crying. So then I have to tell what happened because I'm saying if I tell, I'm gonna get in trouble. But if I don't tell, I'm being told that I will be taken from my grandparents, which is where I was technically living. So um, I tell, they call my grandparents. My grandparents come and get me and they take me home. I got a whooping. I got a whooping, not by my grandparents, but by my mom. And she took me to my dad's house to whoop me because I told what happened. Now, mind you, what else was I supposed to do? I'm a child. How? I don't know what else I was supposed to do. Okay. So at this point, my grandmama and granddad and told my mama, you ain't take her out this house no more. And I'm like, yeah, behind them. I ain't going nowhere because grandmama and granddad said I ain't got to go. Well, something happens and my mama get me out the house. And we're headed to my dad's house to stay the night again. I'm a nervous wreck. Like, it's bad. My stomach is upset. I'm biting off my nails. I'm shaking. I'm scared. I'm afraid. And my dad got up and did a hard bang on the door. And I was in the back room myself. And I ran out and I said, she's back. She's back. She's back again. And my dad laughed. My mom said, why'd you do that? And then sent me back to the room. Nobody ever thought, this girl needs some help. This girl needs to talk through this with somebody. No. Why? Well, because our ancestors went through way worse than we did. And so the little stuff that we go through, what are we complaining for? No. We're continuously passing down stuff. Like, if we're going to continue to use the excuse of what our ancestors had to deal with, and we should be okay because it's in our DNA, then we may as well still be in slavery. Because we still have that mindset, we still have that mentality. Things are still being passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation that was established during slavery. And so it affected us. It affects our children, and it's going to affect our future generations if we don't stop and deal with some of this mess. To say, yeah, that was a lot you went through, but it made you a better person, that shit don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It didn't make me a better person. It made me a person that can't trust people. It made me a person that literally will put my life on the line for somebody I don't even know because I can't stand to see a man put his hands on a woman. It made me a person that will disregard the fact that I have a child, children, a whole family, and get in the middle of something to save a child's life because I've been through it and I know what it feels like. It made me a person that feels like I gotta fix everybody's issues and can't even deal with my own because I want to make sure everybody else is happy. I want to make sure that everybody else is pleased. I spent 40 years walking on eggshells, trying to figure out the mind of somebody who mind wasn't functioning properly with half of the shit that she did to me. So it didn't make me better because that's not the thing that made me better. That is not the thing that made me better. And I'm not going to sit here and give it any type of praises, any type of, I'm not giving it any positive nothing. That didn't make me better. What made me better was I had a grandmama and granddaddy that was loving, that knew how to offset what she was doing and nurture me. What made me better is the fact that God, every teacher he placed into my life, every one of them, male, female, has made a difference in my life, planted seeds into my life. What made me better was the cousins that saw what was going on and would try to make me feel better afterwards. It's those things that made me better. But those actions, no child should ever be that fearful of somebody that birthed them. There's a difference between having reverence for your parents and being afraid of your parents. There's a difference. Reverence includes respect. Fear does not. I want my children to respect me, not be afraid of me. So no, I'm not better because of it. And even I have been in multiple fights between my mom and dad trying to break it up. The first time my mother ever said she loved me was when I said it to her, and it was because my daddy was beating her so bad and he made me go sit down that I knew he was just about to kill her. And I just said, Mama, I love you. And she said, I love you too, sit down. And to be 40 something years old, to have had the conversation with my daddy, and my daddy say, I only hit your mama one time. So I'm making this up. I'm making these moments up. The 3 times that her ribs were broken, I'm making it up. No. And I'm done. Like, I'm not carrying anybody else's secrets, be them dead or alive. I'm not. I'm going to be free. So I understand when August felt the need to put everything out on the table that was bounding him, that had him bound, so he could be free. And some may say, well, how did it have him bound? No, people were saying they were in a relationship years before now. Years before now. And he didn't say nothing. Jada admitted herself that it had been over for 4 years. This was 4 years ago. Why would he bring it up now? He needed to be free. And it took you going to the red table talk, since it's I gotta go here, for you to even say, I don't think took you giving me permission, if you took it as you give me permission. It was just that you knew. So he wanted to make sure it was understood that he wasn't a home wrecker. You love him. You love him because you wanted to make sure that the world didn't see him in any other light than the light that he's in. Not making up anything about him, but that the world didn't see him in any other light than what you saw him in and what you know him to be. So you know, in order for him to be completely free, you even said it yourself, he cut you off. For him to be completely free, he had to literally walk away. And that didn't work for him. And then you still got the rumors going and going and going and going, and not once did you stand up and take up for him. Not even when he put it on the table. You waited. And then you bring it to the table as something as simple as an entanglement. An entanglement is when you have 2 things that's tangled and they come together. Honey, you were in a relationship. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And I'm glad that your husband got you to go ahead and say that, because that can help you with your healing too. So much more that goes in between that I want to address for part 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm probably just going to have to use quotes and give you guys the actual timestamps for whatever is in the video instead of trying to use the video. I'm not sure. But I just want us to get out of this mind frame that it made us better. That ain't what made me better. No. And why do I have to suffer to be better. I'm over that. No, I shouldn't have to suffer to be better. No, 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 no. Um, woo, jeez. Hey, Miss TT, I'm sorry. Thank you, Carter, for finding a new one. Shay's journey, no need for you to apologize. You did not do it, honey. And again, it doesn't mean I don't love my mother or that I love her any less. She's my mom. Don't mean I don't miss her. She's my mom. TT said we don't whoop. We are supposed to talk with them or take things away. And that varies for different people. You know, I'm a firm believer in spare the rod, spoil the child, but there's a proper way to whoop, and that's the issue. Um, we we've even had a conversation with the police and CPS before about whooping children because when that whole thing went around, like call the police on your parents if they hit you, da da da. No, you can't leave marks, and you're only supposed to spank them on their hind side. But there's not a law that says you cannot spank your child. Now, granted, that should be your last option, not your first. And if that's what you have to do on the first go around, you need parenting classes. And some children, whooping does not, like my oldest son, no. But take something from him that he loves, yes. Actually, both of my boys are that way. Whew, that was a lot. Hi, Rob Parker. Parkers, thank you for coming in. Oh, hey, dude says your issues are your issues. A shrink told me that story was horrible. Your issues are your issues. Your issues are your issues. I'm trying to make that sit right with me. Your issues are your issues. But it doesn't because, yeah, my issues are my issues, but my issues affect those around me and those who I love. Hey, King, Blacklight Records. Um, oh, Hedu says the important thing is they didn't steal your smile. Absolutely. But August said it best. You know, he said, I think I wrote that down. He said, um, I didn't write it down. And it may be in another episode, but your smile is yours. Like for me, I've always said my smile is the one thing that I can control. So I don't care what I'm going through, I'm gonna smile. I'm the person that can literally be fighting you and I'm gonna smile. Just because it's mine. And I know it pisses some people off. Some people hate to see me smile. Some like and that's sad to say, but there are some people that's like, what the hell you got to smile about? Life. I'm still here. I made it. I've had people even tell me that I'm fake. I just my smile, I'm not dealing with it. She's just walking around being fake. I've been told that by someone in spiritual leadership. Smile is still here. It ain't going nowhere. Actually, it's been here majority of my life. There was plenty of things that happened that people didn't know. People didn't know. Says I think we're playing chess. Well, on that one, I don't even want to talk about that, like the relationship part. I want to focus more on how they got to this place. And I did respect Jada for saying she's always had this need to fix. and make something right. But I'm here to tell you, if you talk to a lot of kids that have been abused when they're younger, they grow up with a need to fix and make everything right. And we can't fix and make everything right. It's not possible. Um, he said, as in your issues are important, most importantly to you. Yes, and you have to be the one to solve them. The thing is, thank you, Miss Sheila. Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much. The thing is, you can't solve them if you don't know it's an issue. Do you get what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm talking about this. Like, that's why I'm bringing this to the forefront. That's why I want to have the conversation, because it's not an issue if, nor can you solve the issue for even future generations if you can't talk about it. To see that I'm 42, and I think now he's, what, 27? But he went through some of the same stuff that I went through. It talked about him being homeless, but we didn't even get to the part where he was homeless because his mom put him out because of something. I don't even remember what it was. And that's in all honesty. And she drove past him while he was sleeping under the bridge and threw the bird up at him, her middle finger, and kept on driving. That's the mentality of some Black women. It doesn't mean she didn't love him. That's the mentality of Black women showing love to their sons because they have to teach them how to be a man. Women, we cannot teach our sons how to be men. We can teach them how to be decent human beings. We can teach them how to be respectful. We can teach them how to have manners and chivalry, but we can't teach them how to be a man. And we got to get that out of our head. We cannot teach our sons how to be men. You being hard on your son, you popping your son in the chest, you calling your son bastard motherfuckers, ugly ass, funk ass boy, dumb ass, sit your dumb ass down. And that's just me being real right now, as raw, real, authentic as I can be. That is not teaching him how to be a man. It's actually neglecting him of the nurture that he needs from his mother. And I get it. Some dads are deceased. Find a father figure, because you can't teach him how to be a man. You can't. There are things that I didn't even know. I'm gonna tell you something I learned. We were in an autism class, learning about social skills and things that you're supposed to do. So there's an app that teaches boys on the spectrum how to properly use the bathroom in public places. I didn't know that boys didn't pull their pants all the way down to pee. I didn't know that when you go into the stall to use the bathroom, if somebody is at the first stall and there's 4 stalls, then you go to the 3rd stall. You do not go to the 2nd stall. I didn't know that. And as a woman, guess what? I didn't have a need to know it. I didn't have a need to know it. You can't teach your son how to be a man. It's just certain things that he's going to need from a man. Now, what you can do is make sure that you cultivate a relationship with him and a man that is going to truly take him under his wings and teach him the right things. And even then, you got to be careful, because you only see what's before you. But we can't do it. And I just want to get that fallacy out there. Blacklight Records says, I'm sorry. The story is horrible, oh yeah, dudes, but it's true. Like, I have no reason to lie about it. I ain't gonna say I wish it was a lie, but I definitely wish it was a story I didn't have to tell. Like, I'm 42 and it's still etched in my head that my mom bit me this shoulder, pushed me out the car, hit me, telling me I hope something get your ass in a dark alley. Um, Thank you again, Miss Sheila. Black and White Record says, love you in red, queen. That's the Delta. Aisha, your issues eventually become the issues of those around you. And that's what I'm trying to drill. Like, I'm trying to drill that in. It becomes the issues of those around us. We begin to affect other people, even with our children. Like, I had to force myself to hug my children. I never had to force myself to tell them that I love them. But imagine that, and it may be more people than I know. But the first time I ever heard an adult tell me they love me, I said it first. It didn't matter how, even as an adult, I said it first. Because it wasn't something that we just did. We weren't that type of loving, hugging family. We just weren't. And so I didn't realize that wasn't, I didn't realize that type of love is something that you need, believe it or not. You need it. You need it for your mental health, physical health, emotional health, social health. You need love. Black Record says it's called the Messiah Complex, Aisha, the need to fix everyone. And then who am I to say somebody's broken? Yeah. And Sheila said, that's true, Aisha. Thank God my son had his father. Yes. Yes. Your cousins obviously gave great advice. They cleaned up the wounds. Ohedu says, that's anxiety. That's exactly what it is. Also, great men in our family. Absolutely. Hug them every day, then. I do my best. Said I laughed hard the first time I seen my dad kiss his son. Wow. And that's one thing that I love about my husband. Like, God knew what he was doing when he blessed me with him. He stepped right in with my kids. But even with his own son, my bonus son, who is taller than him, plays football. He's like 200 and something pounds, muscular, walks around the house in a size small, showing his muscles. And I'm like, go put on a bigger shirt. I don't want to see your muscles. Your muscles don't scare nobody. You know, that's how I play with him. He still sits in his dad's lap. He will go sit in his dad's lap. Or he's sitting so close to him on the couch that I just let them have it and I come on into the room. But it's a beautiful thing. And so it's becoming more and more as I'm entering our 10th year of marriage. It's common. My kids say, I love you. They get out the car on the way to school. We pray. We pray. When they get out the car, they say, I love you. They know if they don't say it, baby, I will roll down the window. Yes, high school students. I love you. Have a great, amazing day. Can't wait to pick you up and you tell me how great your day was, okay? Do well. Mama loves you. Don't play with me. Get out the car. And you ain't guaranteed to see me when school is out. So, no. But it took some work to get to this place. It took some therapy to get to this place. It took some medicine to get to this place. So to say I'm better, honey, the road that I had to take, and I'm still not better. To this day, I can't stand loud bumps and knocks. If I hear it just does, and that's the sad part. When Tiara talked about it the other day, and I think I said it something else, that gut feeling that you get, that it's a trigger. There's not, like, I don't know what else to call it, but it always bring it back up. And so for me to hear my dad say, "Oh, we're friends now," what? One of the worst. What? Yeah, I mean, I was playing around and it was my fault. That, are you serious? Like, I had a whole attitude with him for a good couple months because I'm still traumatized. And when I say I'm still traumatized. But y'all good. Okay. Black Flag Records says we must demonstrate our love to both our boys and girls. Yes, this reinforces them and teaches them how to love others. I absolutely agree. 100%. I have talked more than enough tonight. I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody that would like to come up. Honey, I am hungry and I need a beverage. This has been real. Thank you, old head dudes. My prayer really is that with the other video, there's some things that I can do. It's showing like it's up, but I don't know. So I'm praying that there's some things that I can do to keep it up and that I can learn what I need to do better so that we can go through the other 4, because there are some things in the other 4 videos that were very informative. But that documentary, y'all, it paints a picture of what it's like to be Black and to grow up in a less than, what do you call it, a less than desirable atmosphere. Now, again, for me, the beauty I say is I thank God for my grandparents. But my grandparents aren't the same parents that my mom them had. And I had to learn that from my uncles. My grandparents. My grandparents have the same parents that my mom them had as parents. And then my mom was not the same grandmother that like she was as a parent to me. Now, both of my kids, once she kind of passed away, they told me that they were snagged by her, and I was like, what? Because I just didn't think she had touched them. And because I prayed for their relationship. But she loved them. She loved them. There was nothing she wouldn't do for them. She loved them. And that's the one thing that I know is that my mom loved me to the best of her ability. The best of what she knew. So this isn't to degrade her. This isn't to downplay her. This isn't to put her out there. And so for any family members that may be offended by it, I don't apologize because it's true. It happened. Let's learn and be better. Because guess what? I still love them. Still talk to them. Still miss them. But truth is truth. And that's what happened. So I put the link in the chat. Since no one's coming up, I will see you guys in about 13 hours, 14 hours and 45 minutes. At noon tomorrow for brunch with Aisha. We'll kind of possibly pick up where we left off. I think I actually got out what I needed to say about August and me understanding him. I'm gonna go through the other uh, segments tonight to make sure that there's not something that I didn't miss. I'm gonna close it with the topic of um, entanglement because you can't talk about this without talking about entanglement. Um, and so, yeah, that'll be us tomorrow. So join me tomorrow at noon um, for brunch with Aisha. Bring your mimosas, your Bloody Marys, your whatever you need to make it through. I thank you guys for taking the time with me. I pray that this message and even the message on the previous live gets to those who it need to get to. I love your lives, Black Light Records. I really do. I want us to do a live together. I yeah, I'm not ashamed. I realize I've shared things that can be used against me, and guess what? There is so much more because I'm not perfect. I've made many mistakes, and when a person doesn't feel love, they go searching for it in all the wrong places. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to end tonight. Thank you all for taking the time out with me. As a culture, let's do better. Let's stop saying, oh, but it made you better. It didn't kill you. Or the infamous, but did you die? But did you die? Part of my soul did. It's parts of me and parts of my innocence that I'll never get back again, no matter how hard I try. And so that's what you have to come to terms with. And if I could tell August anything, that would be the one thing that I'll tell him. That's what he has to come to terms with. That there is a part of him that died. There is a part of innocence that went away. There is a part of thinking. There is a part of there's a lot that went away. It's okay, my Kimmy. You can go back and watch it. There's a lot that went away. But there's a lot that's still here. And there's more that I have to offer. But my goal is to get it out there and get parents to want to be better, to want to do better. And it doesn't take beating and degrading our young men to make them men. That's not it. Find them a mentor, find them a mentor program, find them uncles, brothers, get the right people in their lives because a woman cannot teach a male how to be a man, period. We can raise them to the best of our ability. But I guarantee you, if you have a grown son, even as a single parent, and you look back, there is some man, be it the barber, be it the coach at school, be it the science teacher because they love science, the band director because they love band. There is a man, the principal, there is a man that has made an impact in their life. Ask your kids, they'll tell you. So with that being said, this wasn't as freeing as I thought it would be. I am walking away this time with my heart heavy. And it's heavy because I unpacked a lot of stuff. And then I'm not sure what happened with the other video, because it's important for me to show. Um, I had to. They actually pushed me out when, and so I may have a copyright strike. I don't know. I'll see. I don't see an email right now, but I'll find out. And if I don't, I'll do my best to take both of these videos and um, edit them and just make it one video. To my internet family, to the royal family, to my tribe. Um, Still trying to figure out a name for us. I know tribe is definitely going to be in it. But thank y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank you for providing a platform for me to be free. To my children who are watching, I love y'all more than you know. You are my heartbeat on, like you are walking examples of my heart. I'm so proud of all of you. And I know that it was nothing but God's grace and mercy that got you guys to where you are today. I refuse to take any credit for it because I've been a mess my whole life. At no fault of my own most times. But yeah, I just pray that y'all learn something and that you learn the value of life, the value of treating people right, the value of loving one another, the importance of loving one another, the importance of having a village, the importance of having a tribe. And so, with that being said, I love you guys. I'll talk to you at brunch tomorrow. Have an amazing night. Sleep well. I pray I didn't trigger anyone. If there were any triggers, deal with them. Because when I get off, I got some I got to deal with. So, yeah, I'm going to write it down. So, deal with it. I love you. Bye. Have a great night. And thank you all. Thank you all so much. Good night. Dre's, I'm looking at his. He said a Blacklight Records and Aisha show. I will have you two on my show. I hadn't told them that you're thinking about making a show. I love you guys. Bye.